And welcome back for second quarter action here on the Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week. South Plaquemines with the 8-7 lead. A whole bunch of people in the backfield for Belle Chasse on this one as Hicks calls for the football. He's going to hand it to the deep guy, which is Sylvan. He is met hard and driven down. And it's a night for the Tulane commits to shine as Sean Wilson blew that one up.
Roll green wave.
Really laid the lumber there.
And of course, Wilson is I don't know how he got away from Curtis High School. And that's where he originally attended and played ball up at John Curtis.
Third and long for the Cardinals. Again, three in the backfield along with Hicks. Calls for the football, drops back, looks around, throws deep, has a man, but it's just over Taron Oncolot again, so this is fourth and long. And Oncolot continuously getting behind the South Plaquemines defense, but unable to connect with the quarterback.
Yeah, Hicks had such an outstanding game last week, 16 for 18. And, you know, that's just like pitching. You have those on games and off games. Of course, it's early in the game, and he may warm up.
Looks like a punting situation here for the Cardinals. I believe that's 34. Zach DeCluitt back to punt.
Watch the the rush by the Canes.
Hung up high. It's going to be taken in at the 2. Looking for an opening and finding one. Getting out to about the 15-yard line goes Calvin Thomas on the return. So 1st and 10 for South Plaquemines as they'll play from their own 15-yard line. 11-10 to go in the second quarter. And South Plaquemines with the 1-point lead.
So many exciting ball players out there on the field. Calvin Thomas has really got some great quickness. And, of course, Trey Vaughn. We already mentioned the diamond connection with Barthélemy and Martin.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for South Plaquemines from the 15-yard line. Rojas and Williams, the two receivers in the formation. Looks like Sherman's still in at quarterback. Going to hand it off to Barthélemy. Tries to get to the outside. Maybe give him a yard before he's taken down. Good job on the stop, and it looked like it was Robert Kennedy in there for the stop for Belle Chasse.
Just a casual observation, Jason, but it appears to me that the strength of the Belle Chasse defense would be their linebackers. They really get off the blocks quite well.
And when you look at the way this team is designed, if you see the 3 down linemen, they are of tremendous size. Something you don't see a lot in prep football. Kind of brings you back to the old Saints heavy lunch bunch, if you will, as Barthélemy runs through the initial tackle and then he's taken down. Peyton Cooper with some help from Randall Graff make the stop. And this is going to bring up 3rd down and about 2 to go for South Plaquemines.
Of course, Wade's brother was Andrew Barthélemy, a former outstanding player here with the Hurricanes, nicknamed Crow. And they had a lot to brag about when Andrew would touch the ball.
Third and 2 for the Hurricanes. Sherman and Barthélemy in the backfield. It's going to be another handoff to Barthélemy. He's got the first down and then some. Manages to stay on his feet. Ball pops out. There's a beanbag on the ground. No indication. But it does look like South Plaquemines recovered, so it's going to be a 1st down at the 29-yard line for the Hurricanes.
The down linemen for the Cardinals are not getting off the blocks. The Hurricane offensive line seems to have quick feet, and they're really locking them up, putting a lot of pressure on the linebackers to make the play.
Two receivers, everyone else in tight. It's going to be an option. Ball's on the ground. Still scrambling for it, and I believe the Cardinals have recovered. And they have. It looks like Peyton Cooper comes up with the football. A turnover deep in Hurricane territory. And Belle Chasse back in business on offense with the ball at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, Jason, will the Cardinals go for it with Ancalard deep, or will they try and grind one out here?
They've tried it twice. They've come up short both times. Cardinal offense trots onto the field. Freddie Smith, Trey Green, the other two receivers, Ancalard and Silv in the backfield. Hicks calls for the football, going to hand it off to Silv. Turns the corner, looking for some open space. He's down to about the 20 before he's taken down.
The Cardinals have been successful in their sweeps, more so than their straight plays into the middle of the Hurricane defense. Let's see if they continue that pattern.
Hicks again looks to move it, hands it to Ancalard, stutter steps. He's going to have the first down as he's to about the 15, or mark him at the 16-yard line. And maybe the patience of this Cardinal offense paying off as they're looking for the open space, trying to find the holes.
I would think, Jason, that with the Hurricanes not having the depth at the Cardinals, that they would try and run a lot of sweeps early to try and wear down the Cardinal.
Kendrick Smith's going to keep this one himself and waltz into the end zone. Found an open spot. Broke a tackle. Let me correct myself. That's Andrew Hicks. So I got my numbers mixed up here, and rosters for that matter. Thanks to Carl over there for correcting me. It's going to be 13-8 with an extra point coming. And maybe what could be an interesting strategy, because Coach Harrison knows that Coach Figaro is going to go for two probably every time. Is he going to keep kicking extra points and hope that they can stop those two-point conversions? Or is he going to have to try some two-pointers of his own? Austin Russell in to attempt the extra point right here. There's the snap. The kick is on its way. And it's good. So 8:20 to go, second quarter. Belle Chasse 14, South Plaquemines 8. We'll step away and come back with more Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back as Austin Russell has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, just about set to go. He approaches, steps into it, keeps his footing this time, and it's a much better effort. Going to be taken in by Jace Williams, who's got some blocks, tries to get to the outside, steps away from some tackles, and he's going to be taken down. And that was an interesting job by Justin Phillips for Belle Chasse. He was on his backside, but kind of just stuck his feet in the way and was able to impede the progress of Williams there.
I guess you could say he was just trying to get a leg up on him, Jason.
He got two legs up on him on that one. So ball's going to be placed. What appears to be the 31-yard line. There's no ball on the ground and officials walking in circles, so we'll wait and see where they set it down at.
And, Jason, I can tell you that, the concession stand has been not very busy tonight because every fan has been glued to their seats with the exciting action that's been going on the field. So it looks like they're going to have to wait until halftime to do any selling as far as concessions.
Yeah, the Belle Chasse side of the field is actually very full right now. Maybe even a few more people, I'd say that, but the South Plaquemines sideline stretches out a little further. Probably equal numbers on both sides, and there's a lot of people mulling around behind the South Plaquemines side, so maybe one of the biggest turnouts we've had down here in a very long time. But like I said, a game that was 2 years in the making. Sherman on first down completes the pass to Tyler Martin right in the middle of the field. Gains about 6 on the play.
Well, this is the game as far as Plaquemines Parish is concerned. The only two football playing schools in the parish. And, of course, this year with the Battle of the Boot taking its
as if they needed to add anything to this rivalry. It's one of the biggest, maybe one of the best rivalries in the entire South Louisiana when it comes to high school football.
Yeah, when you talk about adding fuel, you got enough fuel in this boot already.
Sherman takes a snap under duress, and he's going to be taken down. Flag goes down. As that was Casmi Antoine on the blitz, came in untouched, but I believe he got Sherman by the helmet. So mark off the penalty. And that's going to be 15 yards. A first down for the Hurricanes. Much of the excitement of some of the people in the press box here from South Plaquemines.
7:26 in the second quarter, so the Canes have ample time to take this ball down the field.
Canes getting into the huddle a lot this year, something we haven't really seen from South Plaquemines in the last couple of years. Belle Chasse shifting some people along the defensive line. Sean Wilson in motion. Sherman takes the snap, rolls, stops, throws it up, and this is going to be intercepted. And coming back the other way for the Cardinals. Down the sideline, and he's going to go out of bounds at about the 18-yard line was Kaylin Parker, number 6, for Belle Chasse. And Sherman just kind of hung that one up there. Parker really the only guy even had a chance to catch it.
Well, he was under a lot of duress that time and threw off the back foot. And as a result, the ball hung up in the air.
So ball at the 19-yard line, going to be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Clock stopped with 6:47 to go. Cardinals up 14-8 and looking to add to this lead. Looks like Enclade's going to go into the backfield. And there's going to be an illegal substitution as if there were 12 men on the field for the Cardinals. In all of their motion, they tried to motion somebody along the side and off the field, and the line judge caught that one easily. So it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Cardinals. Back them up 5 yards, and they will play from the 24-yard line.
Now, in this situation, Jason, you get to tell a lot about a coach's personality. They just had a turnover. They deep in Hurricane territory. Does he go for the end zone with a pass, or does he grind it out? And this will tell you a lot about the nature of the coach right here.
Andrew Hicks back in there at quarterback as he's going to follow a couple of blocks. Was able to push the pile a little. Maybe gets back the penalty yardage, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. There was some whistles late, and I believe South Plaquemines is going to take a timeout with 6:33 to go to try and talk some things over. So we'll take the break too and come back with more of your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back out of the timeout. Belle Chasse is going to be looking at a 2nd down and about 9 yards to go.
Jason, they have Terry Anklot in the slot at the bottom of your screen. Look out, there he is.
Double pass, but nobody's home.
Nobody in the middle of the field.
And it's going to be a touchdown. And that was Trey Green, number 3 on the reception. As again, Terran Enclade, the threat there, fools the whole Hurricane defense, pulls them up, and they left nobody back there. That was an easy throw. You or I probably could have made that touchdown toss.
Well, you know, you can cover the wideouts with your cornerbacks, but usually those guys in the slot, that's becoming a prime position for receivers now. And, of course, in the pros, developing that tight end, because anybody in the interior usually gets lined up against a linebacker.
Bad snap. Enclade's going to pick it up, scramble to the side, and he's going to get all the points here as he's got a 2-point conversion, and that's going to make it 22-8. And one way or the other, 6:27 to go, and it's 22 for Belle Chasse, 8 for South Plaquemines, and we will again step away and come back with more Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back. Austin Russell with the ball teed up. Just about set to go again as he approaches, steps into it. High kick. It's going to come down at about the 10, and that's Jace Williams who has some blocks if he can turn the corner. He gets away from the initial rush, just the kicker to beat. As some of the other Cardinal players catch up, he's going to be taken down all the way down at the 27-yard line. So great return for Jace Williams. So South Plaquemines in business quickly here. Williams taken down on the sideline, almost could have been flagged for a hit out of bounds for the Cardinals, but nonetheless,
Canes come up with a big kickoff return, and they needed it, Jason, because you always want to go into half feeling good about yourself. 6:15 left in the second quarter, and the score is 22-8. So this possession with the score could really turn the momentum going into halftime.
Sherman hands it to Bartholomew, finds a bit of a hole. He's down to about the 24-yard line before he's taken down. Give him a couple on the play.
Wallop and Wade picking up some tough yardage there right in the middle.
Second and 7. Everyone's in tight. Rojas and Kendrick Smith, the two receivers in the formation. It's another handoff to Bartholomew. Follows his blocks, and he's going to be hit and taken down at about the 21. Good play there, but it looked like Darius Franklin, number 9.
Again, the Hurricane offensive line really doing a good job tying up those down linemen for Belle Chasse. There was a nice hole there, but the secondary for Belle Chasse really filled in rapidly.
So again, third down, about 5 to go for the Hurricanes.
And you know this has got to be 4-down territory. With the time left approaching halftime and the score at 22-8.
And it looks like Coach Figueroa is going to burn a timeout again.
A wise decision. You want no indecision in a situation like this.
So the South Plaquemines offense will come to the sideline to talk things over. Well, we've got them. I want to remind you can catch all of your Plaquemines Prep games of the week. So it's Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 o'clock on WGM Television, Channel 10. As we got some new ownership there. Like you said, some great things happening in Plaquemines Parish. Also, don't forget to check out our bi-weekly show that we talk about all things prep sports in Plaquemines Parish. That's the Plaquemines Prep Rewind. And if you get a chance, every other Tuesday, and I believe the 17th will be the next time, Cody Juno and myself will be at Salvo Seafood. So come enjoy a good plate of good seafood and talk some football, basketball, volleyball, whatever your sport is. Come talk it with us on your Plaquemines Prep Rewind. And we'll show those, I believe, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 7.
Best clams in the metropolitan area.
And of course, let me tell you, the alligator was good too, and I think Carl can vouch for that. They fed us some alligator last time we were there, and we know we're in Chewdom season right now. So,
and you know Cody and Jason won't clam up on you.
We will
so
not.
You can eat all the clams you want.
Bartholomew with a big hole up the middle. Looks like he's got the first down. He's to the 14-yard line.
Wallop and Wade exploding through that Hurricane offensive line.
And Coach, it's not broken, so why fix it for the Hurricanes?
Well, it looks like the Canes have found somebody they can hang their hat on as far as the running game.
Sherman comes to the sideline, gets the play, checks back into the huddle. Again, they're keeping everyone in tight, even the receivers playing kind of bunched up right around the football.
Old-fashioned power football. Let's see what Coach Myers is going to dial up on the defense if he's going to bring those linebackers.
Sherman calls for the football again, hands it to Bartholomew. This time, Cardinals are waiting for it.
The defense was in the gaps. Coach Myers played the chess game, and he had the right call.
Zach DeCluitt and Cedric Miller get there to make the stop. So this is going to bring up actually a loss on the play, so second and about 11 to go for the Hurricanes.
Clock's running right at 4 minutes before half.
Sherman fakes the handoff to Bartholomew, has time, throws it into the end zone, wide open, and drops the ball. Corin Lytle, it hung up so long, he had too long to look at it. Right off his fingertips. The Cardinal defense made a bad judgment call on the play, and Lytle was wide open. Could not bring it in. Missed opportunity there for the Hurricanes, and this is going to bring up 3rd and 11.
Nice play action call. Ball was right on the money. possibly, Jason, I tell you, with the angle, it might have gotten up in the lights.
Could be, as they do have some banks of lights that point down right at that end of the field.
Yeah, the way he missed the ball looked like he was almost defending himself against the ball.
And this Hurricanes really need to hurry here as they
won't get it off.
Play clock all the way down to 0, and it's going to run out. And I believe they're out of timeouts. It shows 2 on the board, but they've taken all 3. So this is going to be a 5-yard penalty. And things in a matter of minutes there getting from bad to worse for South Plaquemines.
Well, the Canes have shown that they can strike from afar.
So big play here, 3rd down, long yardage.
Sherman has had a tendency to throw to his left side.
Sherman's got a rush. He throws in the middle of the field. It's caught, and that's going to be a 1st down right at the goal line. And I believe that was Tyler Martin on the reception.
Terrific Tyler Martin.
And Coach, you can't get any closer to scoring without. I mean, he kind of fell on his backside inside the 1, tried to twist his body, but once you hit the ground, you're down in high school. And I would have to imagine 1st and goal right at the 1. This is Wade Bartholomew territory. Sherman's going to keep it himself. He goes to the middle, no signal yet. And it looks like they're going to mark him right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain. Cardinal defense stiffens and holds him out of the end zone. Going to bring up 2nd down. Goal to go inside the 1-yard line.
Looks like the Canes may have to go a little bit wider and right up the middle.
Need a little more meat in that backfield, so who else to bring in but Sean Wilson? As Brandon Sherman actually checks out, so looks like
Wilson's
Sean
lining
Wilson's
up as
going
the
to take
quarterback.
this snap from the quarterback's position.
Guess who's going to run the ball?
A little more meat in the pile, and he's in. Sean Wilson. Tulane continues to put points on the board. And it's going to be 22-14 with a conversion attempt coming for the Hurricanes. 2:36 to go.
A lot of points for a high school game. Very enjoyable game. WGM brings nothing but the best on Cable 10. CMA until they make the switch.
We'll be whatever you want to call us tonight.
And Wilson's in the
2-point conversion
backfield
attempt.
again.
Wilson's going to keep it himself. Works to the outside. You can't bring that big guy down, and he falls into the end zone.
And the Canes come right back in the ball game, Jason. 22-16.
22-16, 2:36 to go till half. We'll take a break and come back with more Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this. And welcome back, 2:36 on the clock. Hurricanes behind a Sean Wilson 1-yard 6-point run and a Sean Wilson 3-yard 2-point run. Have pulled to within 22-16.
Well, Jason, the offenses are really on the ball, and the defenses had their hands full tonight because both teams just keep coming.
You would think maybe the biggest fan of this game so far could be Curtis Johnson, the way he's watching commitments on both sides of the football play right now.
Yeah, you have to applaud Coach Johnson from Tulane for recruiting locally, giving the local boys a chance.
Jace Williams with the ball teed up, approaches, steps into it. Looks like an onside attempt, but it's not going to make it 10 yards, so it's going to be Belle Chasse football at the 43-yard line of South Plaquemines. And maybe not the best choice there. If you're South Plaquemines, you probably want to pin Belle Chasse as far away as possible.
Yeah, with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left, they have excellent field position now.
So we'll see what transpires here in the closing 2 minutes of the first half, as the Cardinals have shown quick strike capabilities. Coach Harrison taking a long time getting his offense organized over there on the far sideline. 2 years in, but this is actually the first meeting between Coach Harrison and Coach Figueroa. As we mentioned earlier, they did not get to play last year due to Hurricane Isaac. So maybe a better situation if they each have a season under their belts before they get into this big rivalry game.
Well, Coach Harrison is somewhat like Sean Payton. He loves to throw the screen game. Now, they threw the screen early, and it backfired on him, but he might have another one in store unless he goes long to Anklard.
Hicks and Silva in the backfield. Whistles blow. Yeah, we're not sure why. Everybody just kind of looks around. We reset. We're ready to go. Green in motion. Hicks hands it to Green. Tries to turn the corner. Gets a block from Anklard. Gets to the outside. Scoots down the sideline. He's out of bounds. Wait and see where they spot him. He's very close to a first down. And I believe he's got it on the far sideline.
And more importantly, Jason, he went out of bounds to stop the clock.
Which apparently the whistle before was for a clock adjustment, because last I looked there was 2:15. Now there's 2:23 on the clock. So again, Hicks in the backfield, 4 wide receivers, 1 back. Calls for the football. He's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself, but he's met in the backfield and taken down immediately. And that was Craig Mackey, number 54, on the stop for South Plaquemines.
And boy, how many times do you remember associate the Mackey name with outstanding ball players from the South Plaquemines area?
And it looks like we're going to have a stoppage of play here as Chavone Ragus, number 8, is cramping up. I think Carl can get a shot of that there. Clock is stopped with 1:59 to go, and again, this is a problem we always see in the early parts of the season down here in South Plaquemines. You get the humidity that we've got down here, like we said, the feels-like temperature in the mid-90s, and you always run into some cramping problems, especially early in the season.
So many articles are being written nowadays pertaining to hydration and, of course, proper eating habits and getting enough rest. People always underestimate the amount of sleep that a high school athlete or just a teenager in general needs.
So we're a minute and 59 seconds away from halftime. One thing we'll be treated to, I think, for the first time in years, as long as we've been doing the Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week, is that South Plaquemines actually has assembled a decent-sized marching band, and from what we were told, they're going to take the field and perform at halftime. So nice to see kind of some, a music program being built up down here at South Plaquemines, as they do have a marching band put together. And, of course, Belle Chase's band looks like it's grown by a few numbers as well.
Well, I can remember, Jason, it's just so important and such a valuable addition to a high school when they have a good band. I remember band directors such as Mr. Up from Don Grove from the Port South area, Mr. Butcher from the Belle Chase area. Outstanding people, outstanding band directors.
It's such a nice element to add to any high school football atmosphere.
And I have to say, on our march to the Dome, back to back, we had an outstanding band director, Wendell Lewis, and what a great band. In fact, I even had a signal with him as to when to play the fight song and when not to try and pep up the team and get the fans all riled up.
You do anything you can to get it going. So here we go, 2nd and long. Hicks going to fake the handoff, goes up the middle, tries to lower his head. He's going to gain a few. It's taken down at about the 28-yard line. This is going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I think Coach Harrison was thinking 4-down territory here in the sense that that's 2 runs, and I think you can look for a pass on these next 2 plays.
Hicks calls for the football. He's going to pass it to Anklad, but he's going to be corralled in the backfield and taken down for a loss. It's down at the 32-yard line, so a 4th down and probably about 11 yards to go.
Now, the adjustment for the Cardinals, they have not been successful with the quick passes out to the flats because the Canes have been so quick to adjust. But they have been wide open going deep on the vertical routes. So I would assume that this is going to be a vertical pass.
4th and 13, more like 4th and 11. They'll check to the sideline. Hicks and Silv in the backfield. Trey Green and Freddie Smith to the near side. Green in motion. Hicks looks around. Now he's going to keep it. He gets away from the first tackler, manages to stay on his feet, but he's going to come up just short from the look of things. They're going to mark him at the 22, and this is going to be a turnover on downs. Clock continues to run for some reason. The clock is still running. It stops now with 16 seconds to go. But this is going to be a turnover on downs. It's going to be South Plaquemines' ball. There should honestly be about 27, 28 seconds on the clock. For some reason, at the end of that play, it continued to run, which just seems silly. Being a fourth down, whether he had achieved the first down or a turnover, the clock should have stopped in either occurrence.
Jason, we're going to have to put a striped jersey on you because you're on the ball tonight.
Going to reset the clock to 22 seconds, says the official that comes to the near sideline. It is a turnover on downs. It will be South Plaquemines' ball. And maybe we spoke too soon. We always give praise to the Greater New Orleans Coaches or Officials Association, but I guess also this being their first game of the year as well, you got to work some of the kinks out. And to this point, I would say no harm, no foul. Nothing that they've done has really cost anybody anything through the course of the game. So,
yeah, they've thrown a few delay of game penalties, but they might have to throw one on themselves here where they can figure something out.
Oh, and they're actually going to put 32 seconds back on the clock. Now the problem South Plaquemines has, they have no timeouts, and they're going to have to go about 78 yards to get to the end zone. They've had the ability to throw the ball deep. Sherman's been able to get behind some defenders. I mean, realistically, in this situation, do you just take 4 shots deep and hope for the best?
Nah, Jason, I would have to think the Canes might consider running the ball out here.
And it's tipped up in the air, and this is going to fall incomplete. Sherman was under duress. Zach DeCluitt again in the backfield. Clock stops, 29 seconds, and this will be 2nd and 10. The other dangerous thing for South Plaquemines, like you said, is that Belle Chasse, again, not sure how many timeouts they have. I believe they took 1 and should have 2 left. It's showing 3 on the scoreboard, but the scoreboard's not always accurate down here.
Yeah, you just don't want a turnover. You have momentum, I think, on the South Plaque side. They scored last. And, boy, if they would have a turnover and Belle Chasse would score, that would be very deflating going into halftime.
So here we go. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Sean Wilson and now Kendrick Smith in the backfield. He's going to hold on to the ball, looks for an opening, tries to run up the middle. He's going to be taken down. Ball's on the ground as Robert Kennedy took him down. Clock's going to run. It doesn't look like Coach Harrison's in any hurry to stop it. Ten seconds to go. And it looks like South Plaquemines is content to take the 22-16 score into the locker room, as they will, because we're going to reach halftime. Your score, Belle Chasse 22, South Plaquemines 16. We'll take a break and come back with second half action of your Plaquemines Prep Game of the Week after this.